Salutations to respected viewers. I am George from Ireland, and this video is going to be a debate about abolishing coursework. So, there shall be no more ado, right? Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the House, coursework ought to be abolished for many reasons, but first of all, let me define my terms. What is coursework? Well, this is work that people hand in school. In the UK, it's going for GCSEs, A-levels and so forth. And the people are awarded grades for this, and the grades count towards qualifications such as GCSEs, A-levels, or indeed universities, things like dissertations. Now, admittedly, at doctoral level, yes, you have to have a thesis. We're not arguing about that. We're only arguing up to and including bachelor's degree levels. So why are we against coursework? Well, for numerous reasons. It's exceedingly easy to cheat. This was invented before the internet. In the 1980s it came in. And I can see why people did it, because some people don't do well at exams. And that was that. We want to take away, it takes away too much time from other things. If you're doing coursework in French, you say, oh, we're not going to bother with doing our homework for physics, because coursework culture has come in. So the pressure is never off when you've got coursework. Sometimes you don't have an exam this year or this term, and you don't have to be you don't have to be stressed out too much, and the teacher can afford to go beyond the curriculum and do things which are just stimulating. We should care about education, not solely exams. It shouldn't just be about grades. But then everything counts whether you've got coursework, so you can never relax. It's really bad news like that. Why we ought to abolish coursework, because it stresses people out too much, and the teachers are pressurized to give more help than they're allowed to. Parents can do it for you, and you can pay companies in the internet, Oxford Essays and so on, who say, oh, we're not cheating, we just give you an example. Oh, come on, the people just use that essay and present it as their own. And I know there's anti-plagiarism technology, but nevertheless, if someone has not published on the internet, you'd never know whether this person has had someone else write it for them or not. And I know people have got master's degrees in things this way. So it's grossly unfair. I know that there are problems with exams, but people at least have to memorize things with exams, and it gives people the idea that they don't have to know anything. They can look everything up. And then people basically finish their project, and they have to tweak it so much and waste so much time with your ibids and opposites and getting the footnotes right. And it's just about name dropping so many scholars in your footnotes. So it's dreadful. Coursework ought to be done away with. For those reasons, I rest my case. Right, now. Anyway, I am the opposition. So, Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the House, this House ought to keep coursework. We oppose this monstrous motion for the reasons I'm about to outline. Well, it's fairer for girls and women, so it moves towards gender equality, because say until the 90s, certainly in the United Kingdom, boys outperformed girls in almost every subject, certainly at A-level, and indeed at degree level. But these days, girls outperform boys at almost every subject except IT and physics. And that's to some extent to do with coursework, because coursework is a much fairer reflection of effort and indeed accomplishment over a prolonged period, because you cannot condense the whole year or term into 1 hour in the exam. So coursework allows people to work at something for an extended period of time, and that's what real life is like, a working situation. We don't judge on what you did in one day. What did you do over the year? How much money did you bring in? Or how successful were you? This is a far better way to judge someone's academic attainments. Though there are flaws with it, was to say we can check that people aren't going too far beyond what they really should be doing. And nobody's saying we should only have coursework, we'd have exams as well. But coursework is a vital component of any course, and particularly something like art. We have to have coursework. I mean, I know we have art exams, but that's not terribly different from coursework, where they've got several hours to do whatever it is. And, chemistry, things like that, and physics assess practicals, there's no way around that. You need to be able to do the actual experiments. It can't just all be theoretical, doing equations and so forth. So we can shut down these companies which are paying to do people's coursework for them, and the teachers face severe penalties. They can be banned from working with minors if they assist their pupils in cheating in coursework. So I don't think it's going to happen. And we could threaten parents with criminal sanctions if they go beyond what they're allowed to do. So coursework is crucial. It's much fairer, it's much more logical. And exams, some people can't cope with those, they stress people out. They might happen to be ill at that time or have a bereavement. So exams are very problematic. We don't want to get rid of exams, but the other side of the house is absolutist about it. They are foolish and saying that on principle to have no coursework, which is daft. Anyway, for the reasons I've already expressed, we should keep coursework. I beg to oppose.